Well, we welcome inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center the Big Ten Player of the Week, co-Big Ten Player of the Week, Sydney Gray, following a heck of a weekend out in New Mexico City. Thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, of course.
Well, let's start over the weekend, man. What was working for you at the plate? You had a big weekend for the Huskers.
Yeah, well, so in the beginning it wasn't rough, but it was just a little bit harder at the plate. And so through kind of warm-ups and stuff, I really figured out something about my swing that really just was eye-opening to me. And I was like, wow, like I feel so much better with this, and that helped my confidence. And I really, after having a few at-bats from last weekend and this one, like it just came together, and I was able to commit to pitches better. I was able to have my plans and have them more precise and just go after it, and that really helped me, especially my last few at-bats.
You guys went 4-1 over the weekend, dropped the first game. How were you guys able to come together and respond and finish out the weekend the way that you did?
Yeah, well, our team, I feel like faces adversity really well. And so, yeah, that first game did not go the way we wanted to. And I think we're just like, well, it's out of our control now. Like, the game's already done. So the best thing we can do is turn the page and be better the next game. And we kind of just did that every single game after. And no matter who was on the field, who was in the lineup, we knew that those people just had to get their job done. And if we got our job done, we were going to get the game done and get that win. And so, yeah, I think we just were one pitch at a time, just do what we can, do what we can control, and get the job done in that way.
And you talk about adversity, and it was that week, the week before, that you find out Jordy ball is done for the season. Mm-hmm. How did the team come together? How did you guys kind of handle that news, being that, again, it's one player and there's a big part of the team, but when there was so much kind of excitement surrounding that, how did you guys handle that throughout the week?
Yeah. So that was definitely a shock for us. Jordy is an amazing person, player, teammate, everything. And the biggest thing that I've missed is having her there. She didn't get to come to New Mexico State, and so that was super hard. I think not having her being able to play is obviously a huge thing, but I've missed so much not even having her in the dugout in this last weekend, so I'm really excited for her to just even be there, because she's a very big part of our leadership and just keeping us going like that. And so, yeah, it's been really hard, but like I said, our team is just we can't really control that, and we know it's in God's plan, and so we're just okay, this is what we're dealing with, and we're going to keep moving on every day and give everything that we possibly can. I know even though she's going through all that, she's given everything she can to the team from wherever she's at, and so we just all feel super connected. And when you have that connection, it's okay, we can get through whatever is going to face us, and that's how it's going to be, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about the way she handled it? And, she obviously goes down, and then it seemed like she's just your guys' biggest cheerleader in the dugout there in Mexico, and then the way that she kind of put out her messaging, but just the way that she handled it when it could be pretty devastating. I mean, you went through it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did the exact same thing pretty much, and we didn't start it the same way, but yeah, it's really crazy. Same surgery and everything, but she's handled it like a champ. She got the news, it's heartbreaking news, and she was just like, yep, we're going to do the surgery. I'm going to get right back. I'll be better than I was before, and just keep going. And she's just really inspiring in that way, that no matter what faces her, she knows it's God's plan, it's greater than hers, and that she's going to be better through it. And we got her back. We know she has our back. It doesn't matter. And yeah, it's just such great relationships that we're all very thankful for, and we'll just fight it together.
So one player that I know you guys are pretty glad to have back, that you've played a lot of softball with, Kaylyn Kenny. What can you say about the way that she stepped up too, with all the news unfolding, and she carried a big load in Mexico, and then over the weekend how she responded too?
Oh yeah, Kaylyn Kenny's been doing awesome. I'm just so proud of how she's stepping on the mound, and she's just so convicted in every pitch, and she's getting the job done. And so as a player playing behind her in the infield, I just love that, because I can see when she steps on the mound, it's just I'm getting after these hitters, and it doesn't matter who's not with us right now in the pitching or whatever. It's just her and the hitter, and she's getting them out, and when she's on the mound, we know the job's going to get done. And so that's just really awesome to play behind her, and I love that I didn't get to play much behind her last year, so it's just really cool that we get to have a lot of time together now.
How much do you now as hitters maybe say, okay, I mean, and I know you always have, and even you go back to last year, you guys didn't have as much depth with the injury to Kaylyn, but knowing, hey, we got to step up and we've got to be able to provide that support for our pitchers?
Yeah, definitely. I think this was a big weekend where we actually got to work through that, because in the beginning game, obviously, we didn't see that happening. And so as a team, as a whole, I think we know when we score more runs, it's better for our pitchers. They get to pitch more convicted pitches and feel better on the mound. And so I think as the games went on, we just knew that, like, we got to, as a hitter, you got to take each pitch as serious as you possibly can. Like, it's the winning pitch of the game every single time. And if we do that, then you're going to have better at-bats, you're going to score more runs, and you're going to take off that pressure from the pitchers. And so each game that we played, I felt like that really was a key thing in our hitting. And yeah, it might have not have gone perfect in every inning, but it was still in our head. And so by the end of the game, hopefully by like the 5th inning, we were like creating a gap, which was better. And so I hope every weekend that we work towards that and even get better in that realm.
So on Sunday, you hit 2 3-run bombs and 6 RBIs on the day. I was talking with Nate Rohr before, and he said it's a little bit of a hitter's ballpark, but even just like the altitude, how does that affect a hitter and how you're kind of feeling at the plate?
Yeah, so I know that field pretty well. My stepsister plays for New Mexico State, and we've played there a lot, and so I know that, like, on the edges it's 190, and I'm like, this is a home run park. Like, come on. Like, as a team, we're kind of just like happy that we get to be there because why not? Like, that's awesome. And so as a hitter, I don't think of home runs. I think I want to hit the ball hard and stick to my plan. And so I never thought that I was going to hit home runs, but if you're going to do it, that's the park to do it, really. And yeah, I think the last 2 at-bats that I had, I mean, we weren't hitting the way we wanted to hit in the innings prior to that, and that really was fueling my fire. Like, even me, myself, my first 2 at-bats were not what I wanted, and so that really fueled my fire, and I was like, I need to get the job done. I need to help this team. Like, we were losing at that point, and I was like, figure it out, sort of. Like, I had that mental positive, but like, let's go, like, attitude in my head. And so finally, when I got up to that bat, I knew the one pitch I was looking for, and I saw that, and I went after it, and good things happened. And then a new pitcher came in, and my last at bat, which was my second home run, and I had a completely different plan, and I really stuck to that, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I told Coach Yvelle right before that, she's like, there was a timeout between pitchers, and she was like, I think you should get on plate and go up the middle. I was like, no, I think I'm gonna get on plate, but I'm gonna try and go the right center gap. And she's like, okay. And so I got up there, first pitch, I hit it right center gap over the fence. And so she was like, that was awesome. It was really cool.
Called your shot. Yeah, that's awesome. You know, not just what you did at the plate, but instrumental in the defense and playing third there. But you and Billie have played a lot of softball together. What is that like going into a season knowing how much you've played together and you just for so long you've played alongside her there at short?
Yeah, it's the first word that comes to mind is just comfortable. Like, we've played together for so long, and we just know everything, kind of like what each other's going to do. Like, and that's just so nice because our sport is so fast. So when that ball comes off the bat and I got to decide whether Billie's going to be there or if I should go get it, like, if you don't have a person next to you that you trust 100%, it takes too long and the ball's already past you or whatever. But, like, when me and Billie have practiced and been next to each other so long, it just comes so easy. Like, when the ball is off, I'm like, yep, that's Billie's, or nope, that's mine. Like, you just know exactly. And so that's a super cool connection that you get to have, and I just love when she's there. We missed her a lot this weekend, but Sammy did a great job, and I felt very connected with her too. She just got put in there, and she did a wonderful job, and so we were really happy with that. And yeah, things just worked out. We had a lot of communication in the infield and managed to figure it all out.
I thought it was pretty special last year. Kate Kaneda, the freshman, comes in, and she really talked a lot about how much you and Billie were really big for her, getting comfortable there at second, and it's kind of intimidating to play in that infield with you guys and Maya Felder, but that how you guys really put your arm around her and brought her along. How good is she there at second base now as a sophomore?
Yes, she is amazing. I'm so proud of her. She came in, like you said, and just took it on and did a great job. She was so good as a freshman, and she's only continued to get better. And so it was really sad when she couldn't play a little bit because of her hand, but she's doing really well now, so I'm excited to have her back. But yeah, she's just done great. And like you said, we kind of just wrap around all of each other. Like, it doesn't matter what year we are on that infield. When you're on the infield, we're all together, and that's just how it's going to be. And we're going to get the job done together, and it's going to be a Nebraska win.
What does that say about the depth and some of the younger players that are stepping up, when you just mentioned a couple different injuries there, and just the adversity that you guys are facing, but that people are stepping up when their number is called?
Yeah, it just shows that, like, everybody's ready to go in and is excited for the opportunity and is going to give their best no matter what it is. And I think as a team, that's all you can ask for, sort of. Like, people might not have expected to go in, and when they did, they just were like, hey, this is it, and they did their job, and that's all we can ask for, and that's just really awesome. And no one freaked out or anything. It was just a very calm, like, okay, this is my time to shine sort of thing, and that's what happened, and it was really cool to see.
So I know it's kind of part of what you guys have to do here at Nebraska, and you go on the road a lot. But as a team, how do you manage knowing that you aren't going to be at home, you're traveling, it's kind of tough, and you guys are going on the road this weekend, but managing all of that goes into, especially the start of the season, I'm sure it's not easy for a team, but how do you guys bring each other together and come together during this time?
Mm-hmm. I think every year this is how it is. So you kind of are already prepared that, like, we're not going to play at home for a while, and I mean, we could this time of year, but a lot of time of the year we don't want to be home either because it's so cold. But yeah, I think you just prepare and know, and every time we come back and we have our team practices, we know that, like, this is the time to reconnect, get ready for the next weekend. And then as we go into the next weekend, we've been lucky to be able to practice one time on the field that we're going to be playing at. So that's the time where we're like, okay, let's get to know the dirt, the area, the atmosphere, and like really come together as a team. And then the next day, like when we're playing, this is the time to shine sort of thing. And just, yeah, and really, like, we built our connections before the season even started. So when you do that, like, you're already so close in the airports, in the bus, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Like, you're just already there together. And so I think that's really been helpful.
You know, you guys went to Mexico, to Puerto Vallarta. You played some really good competition there. You're going to the Mary Nutter Classic as well. How good is this for a team to have these kinds of challenges to start the season?
It's awesome. It's exactly what you want. Like, in order to get better, you want to play the best of the best, and so that's kind of what we're doing. And you want to test your strengths in the beginning and see what you can do and give it all you got sort of thing. And, yeah, I love playing as good a competition as we possibly can just to show what we got, compete. And, yeah, it's just really, really great to have that opportunity.
Okay, so I got to ask you about the fan day that you guys had and the turnout, and to see all those little girls there and just how many fans were there to support you. How special was that for you to see?
Oh, my gosh, that was so special, especially it being the first one ever. We were just blown away. We couldn't believe how many people were there. It was just so awesome. Like, there are no words. We all got so emotional after it, and we just realized, like, it is so much more than a game. Like, it is seeing those little girls just look up to us and being like, wow, we were one of those little girls before, and like we get to do this now is just so cool. And having that at the beginning of the season really was just like, this is why we play, and like we're doing this for these little girls and the older girls, the parents, like all of them. Like, it's more than just we're playing like a game on this night or whatever. Like, it's for all the people around us, the whole Nebraska community. And so it just was really, really special to be a part of that.
Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's your senior year. How have you been different? How have you felt different going into this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's very bittersweet. I've taken a lot of little moments, especially on the bus, and just looking around like, man, like this is so cool, and I'm going to miss this so much. But yeah, and I think I've gone into this season like you got nothing to lose, sort of. Just give everything you possibly can, give everything for your team, and when you do that, hopefully good things will happen. I'm trying to really stay calm and not get too much in my head, whether that's with school, softball, like any of the outside stuff. Just really be in the moment everywhere I am, and that's hopefully going to help me be a better person, player, teammate, all of that. And so, yeah.
I love that. Okay, so you're scheduled to graduate this spring too, majoring in finance. Tell us about that. Why you like the numbers, I guess.
Yeah, so I always knew I kind of want to go in business because I do like the numbers. Finance has more numbers than the others, so I chose that one. And going through finance, like I've really liked it, but I've kind of thought, and ever since I was growing up, I always thought like owning my own business would be a really, really cool thing. But yeah, as I've gone into finance, it hasn't been necessarily like, oh, I think I want to be a financial advisor or anything like that. But one of my interests throughout high school and throughout college was going into maybe esthetician school and maybe possibly doing the med spa route, laser technician, something like that, because I've always been super interested in that. And people keep telling me, choose a job that you're going to love to go to. And I think that'd be something that I'd really enjoy. And so, yeah, I've been looking into that, and so who knows, maybe after going to esthetician school, then possibly owning my own salon in that way. So
and we were just chatting about this before we started recording, and when you talk about nowadays in the NIL opportunities, you have now had that opportunity. How great is that for you to be able to have an NIL deal where maybe you can explore future potential career possibilities?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been super cool. So I have an NIL deal with Alerica Aesthetics, and so I saw them working with some other athletes, and I was like, wow, like that is such a cool business. Like that's exactly kind of what I would maybe be interested in doing later on. Like I just loved it. I loved what they stood for and what their company was, and so I reached out and I was like, hey, like, do you think I could potentially work with you? And they were like, of course, like, come meet us. And I absolutely love them right from the start. I love that whole company, love what it stands for, love what it does. And so, yeah, I've been working with them for, I don't know, at least maybe coming up on like 6 months or something. And they've just been super awesome. And I've got to learn some new things and just like, I feel like when you're looking for a job, like the environment is a lot of that. And I love their environment and stuff like that. So if I were to stay in Lincoln, that'd be a great spot to keep going, but who knows? I don't know if I want to go back to Arizona or what, and so we'll see.
But that's kind of like the other side of the NIL deal where, you know, your name, image, and likeness, but to have these kinds of opportunities that you can really explore if that's a path you want to go down.
Exactly, yeah. It's a great connection. It's been a really great opportunity, so.
Awesome. All right. Well, you guys are headed to the Mary Nutter Classic this weekend. Big time, prime time. That is one of the premier softball tournaments every single year. What are you guys looking to accomplish here coming up this weekend?
I think we're just looking to accomplish to continue to grow as a team. Just show up and show out, give everything we possibly can, be big competitors, and just show them what we got, sort of. Like, have no fear and just go into it like we got nothing to lose. We're just going in there and being the best we could possibly be, show people what Nebraska softball is about, and yeah, just do our job, really.
I love that. And then you're finally going to be back home March 1st through the 3rd. You have Wichita State, which there's some history there, and Missouri, which is really neat. How exciting is that, knowing that you guys are going to be home pretty soon? It's an expanded, you got more stands, more people going to be able to be in there. It's got to be pretty exciting to know that, hey, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. You'll be home pretty soon.
Yes. No, we are so excited. It's so cool seeing the renovations on our field and seeing how many people hopefully are going to show up. Playing at home is unlike any other. Like, you just feel so like comfortable, and you see all your family, friends there. It's so awesome. So I think we're really looking forward to that. I think we're looking forward to playing the teams that we're going to be playing and hopefully doing really well. Yeah, it's crazy how fast the season is going by. So we got to cherish every moment, every game, and look forward to everything that's coming.
All right, Sydney Gray, appreciate your time. Best of luck this weekend. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys back at home inside Bowling Stadium coming up soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Again, that is Sydney Gray with Nebraska Softball, the co-Big Ten Player of the Week. This has been a Cornhusker Conversation presented by Teammates Mentoring. Be there for a student in your local community by going to teammates.org. Thanks for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe and like wherever you listen to never miss an episode right here on the Huskers Radio Network podcast.